like, okay, we did it. And it's 5 o'clock. I'm so freaking excited. Hi, everybody. Okay. Yay for doing things for the first time in front of an unlimited number of people. I just absolutely love that. No better way to like hit a little perfectionist broadcast than to have like a let's hope this works. I'm so excited to welcome you all. Hello, everyone. You know who I am. I'm Deborah Hurwitz, composer, music director, and productivity coach for Perfectionists, and I am beyond thrilled to welcome all 4 of these powerhouse goddesses to share with you a little bit about what we are going to be up to about a month from now. So let me just introduce everyone that you're seeing on screen right now. We have JJ Flizanes, mind, body, soul trainer and podcast host. Hi, JJ. Morgana Ray, money goddess and mentor coach. Janine Stables, Dr. Janine Stables, scholar, educator, coach, and founder of the Supreme Love Project. Hello, Janine. And Lisa Schrader, coach, author, speaker, and founder of AwakeningShakti.com. So all 4 of these women are bringing such extraordinary bodies of wisdom and experience to this topic of perfectionism. And you're going to be hearing over the next several weeks what we're putting together for you, which is basically like a free 3-hour intensive workshop with 4 top professionals with like a century of experience between us all. And you're going to be able to join us live on Saturday, October 6th. We'll be rolling out details about this in the next few weeks, but we just wanted to get together and just chat a little bit about this topic, share a little bit about what each of us is doing, and give you a sense of what's available to you by tuning into this broadcast and taking advantage of this extraordinary free content. So first, I just want to go around a little bit, and I'm going to look at the screen and see what I'm seeing. So Dr. Staples, would you please just say hello to our crowd and let us know what it is that you are going to be sharing with us about perfectionism? Just a little teaser.
Yes. Hello, crowd. I am Janine Staples. I'm a scholar, educator, coach, founder of the Supreme Love Project. I'm very excited to be here with you today. And I'm going to be talking to you about performance and how when you break that bond with perfectionism, you can also get out of your fakery, fraudulent behavior, and your performance sensibility and be real.
Oh my God, that's such a mouthful. I mean, like my head is spinning just thinking about the idea of not faking it. Like, how many years, how many eons, how many like body parts have we put into the effort of fakery and pretense? Yeah, just the idea that it's even possible to stop doing that is really foreign for a lot of us, I think. Thank you for that. Awesome. Ms. JJ.
Hi, everyone. I'm JJ Flizanes, and I'm a trainer and an empowerment strategist, author, speaker, and multiple podcast host. And I come at things from a couple different points of view. One is sort of the inside out and the outside in approach. I kind of meld them together. There's been a lot of words that you hear people say. I use integration, but it could be embodiment. It could be realization. I'm hoping to help people understand that the separation that we create about perfectionism when it's actually quite an addiction that we have to keeping us from who we really are, and how that works in a health, in a mind, body, spirit kind of way, whether it be something with your relationship with your health or your body, whether it be something about your level of happiness integrated into your life. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, and how we use that, and how perfectionism really is one of the things that stops you from getting that relationship with your body and that relationship with your health that you really want.
I love that you bring that to the forefront, because that is just such a huge theme for perfectionists. Like, we want to think and we want to make the case for our perfectionism is helping us strive to be that best that we can be and be our most accomplished, awesome, self-realized selves, right? And so you highlighting how we, you really you show how we put the lie to that, right? Like when we actually show what that addiction, as you put it, is, right? It's mindless. It's not something that's actually working for us, or that we're really choosing in the moment, except in the way that we choose that kind of familiar territory of beating ourselves up, right?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work anyway. If it worked, we'd all do it. We'd be like, check, I did it. But it doesn't work.
I'm going to keep beating myself up. Yeah, I hear you. And a theme for me today has definitely been truth telling. That's been in a lot of my calls and classes today, has just been truth telling. And so much of perfectionism, I think, is like pretending like we're telling the truth, or we're telling ourselves that harsh truth. It needs to be better. I need to do more. But it's not the truth at all. And telling the truth to say, you know what, I'm pissed off right now, or I just don't feel this right now, or I feel like ooh, I just want something else in my life, or I want to relax, or I want to slow down, and letting go of all of that should, have to kind of stuff. So really powerful. And I just want to also share that I'm personally working with JJ right now, and my legs are aching, but in the best possible
In a good way. In a good way. Right, in a good way.
Yeah, totally. Putting the focus on something that's actually serving me instead of kind of that autopilot is really, really helpful. So thank you for that. Awesome. Ms. Morgana Ray, you were looking especially radiant today, I have to say.
Her earrings. I love
So,
your
hi, please say hello.
Yeah. Okay, so I am a 10-time #1 international best-selling author. I have been a professional coach since 1996 when dinosaurs roamed the planet. I lead exotic retreats, and I've been a mentor coach to the mentors for many, many years. And people come to me, they think, for money issues. But I'm here to say that all money issues are really love issues. And perfectionism creates unsafe, that's not a word. It creates a lack of safety. It makes it too scary, dangerous to proceed, and that puts the brakes on. And it also gives a lot of ammunition for why we aren't good enough, why we are not worthy, why we are not lovable enough. And that gets in the way of the flow of money. Nothing is more attractive to money. Nothing churns money on more than your self-worth and your self-love.
Mm. Scandalous advice. I love that too, showing, like, again, that sort of putting the lie to the mythology of perfectionism. Like, we think it's what drives us forward, and you're like, nope, actually that puts the brakes on. It's actually what stops us dead in our tracks. That's amazing. I'm going to come back to you with a little question in a second, but first, Ms. Lisa Schrader, please say hello. I love all the cushions. I love how you're just like always.
It's kind of my Shakti life. I'm like, oh, my God. So I am so honored to be here, and I'm so excited about this. And I'm particularly excited because Deborah invited me to do something just slightly different in our live stream. And that is that we'll be talking a little bit about perfectionism, which I believe is a prayer for wholeness. I've really been thinking about this a lot in terms of how perfectionism shows up in my own life. And so it feels like it's a dominance of the mind, very oftentimes at the expense of the body and the heart and our soul or our spirit. And so the practice that I want to bring you, and what I'm really excited to do, is less of a talking practice, but more of a journey and more of an embodiment practice, so that we can come more fully into wholeness, so that very, very busy mind of ours that is trying so hard to figure it all out can actually rest a little bit inside of the circle, really the circle of what I like to teach us, the quaternity, this ancient system of really the earth and the air and the fire and the water of us, which is really the mind and the body and the heart and the soul. And that when we can bring that more into our fullness and wholeness, then that mind can kind of relax. It doesn't have to figure it out all by itself. And so I'm looking forward to bringing us a little bit maybe out of the mind, particularly on the live stream, and a little bit more into what's the body feeling and what's the heart feeling, not thinking about that, but actually practicing that with you. So I'm really excited.
Yes. I super love that. I super love that you're bringing attention to the mind and how our overactive, busy minds can really run the show. And, further to, I guess, my theme of the day really is truth telling. It's like you're really digging for the truth, right? It's like we play tricks on ourselves thinking that nasty inner critic voice, that perfectionist, never enough, please try harder, work harder voice is the truth, or the thing that we have to pay attention to. And yet you're pointing to that deeper truth of what's actually so, what's underneath that. And so I want to open it up now and maybe just chat a little bit about a couple of little nuggets or even challenges messages or scandalous comments or things that we might be talking about on the live stream that we want people to tune in to hear more of. And something that is a big one for me that I love to talk about, and I want to tease you a little bit with this, is really breaking down perfectionism into the left and right hemispheres of the brain. I get super stoked. Like, Lisa's going to get us out of our minds, but I'm such a mind girl, so I'm like, oh, when you're in your mind, let's talk about which hemisphere of the brain is talking, because so much of the time we're paying attention to that left hemisphere, that language, that word, and that's where the critic lives. That's where the analyst lives. That's where a lot of valuable, masculine, plant your flag at the top of the mountain, accomplish stuff in the world place is. And yet some of our deeper truth, all of our dreams, all of our poetry, all of our feelings, all of our big picture vision, all of the things that we really, so many of us long to do, which is make a difference for people and make a difference in the world, that lives in the right brain. That lives in the land of no language, but deep truth. And having the processes and the strategies to access that is something that just turns me on to no end. So I will be talking about that for sure. And I'm not going to call on you guys. Just please, if there's something that you want to jump in with that we want people to know in the approximately 8.5 minutes that we have left here, something that you're super stoked to be bringing to the live stream a month from now.
Well, I think that, we're such a great group because we have different language, but I think we are so in sync with our outlook and our philosophy. Like, my highest value is integrity, and JJ talks about integration, and integrity to me is wholeness. And Lisa brought up the problem with the mind. I'm always saying, if mindset worked, nobody would have to go on a diet again. I don't believe in a millionaire mindset. Everything needs to, I love the mind. Mind is not bad, but it got you as far as it's going to get you. And we want to bring our relationship with money, body, life, self into our heart and lower, way lower.
And lower, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Lisa's like, yeah. I absolutely loved what you said, Lisa, by the way, like a quest for wholeness. That touched me very deeply. That pressed all my perfectionist buttons. It was like, please, yes, please. What's another yes, please for us? What do we want to bring these darling people who are coming in for us? Janine, you look like you want to say
something. I'm thinking, and I'm like being present with my own body. And I'm thinking about one of the things that really supported me in my healing trajectory from perfectionism is when I came to terms with the idea that perfectionism is a sign of dis-ease. It's a sign of dis-ease. If we are striving to be perfect and to be prim and to be proper and to have all of the check marks sort of listed off and to get stamps of approval from other people that we deem more powerful or more popular or more beautiful or more sexy, more influential or valuable than us, it's a sign of a dis-ease. There's a dis-ease and a disordering in our interior life that we really need to heal. So when I started to realize that perfectionism is a sign of disease, a lot of things opened up for me, ironically. You wouldn't think that, oh, I have a disease? Oh, great. It gave me some clarity around why my perfectionism wasn't working the way that I thought it should work. I thought when I was striving for perfection and those approval notifications that I was going to get from people, that I would feel more empowered, that I would feel stronger, that I would feel more certain and more calm, but I didn't. The more I strove for perfection, I performed. What people thought that I should look like, speak, how I should speak, what I needed to write, how I needed to write. I mean, it went down the list and I felt worse. I didn't feel better. So the promise of perfectionism never came. It never came.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I would say to the people who are really sort of peaked, like, do I need to come to this live stream? Come to the live stream. Because what we're going to do is we're going to break down how you can sort of understand, at least I'll contribute, the way that you can see in your daily life, in the ways that you interact with yourself and other people, how you are dis-ease. You're at dis-ease in your interior life. It shows up in your exterior life because of quantum law. So within, so without. And so if you know what to look for, and you also do know how you're feeling in your body, you can really start to understand where you are trying to do perfectionism and how that is not working for you. And then the other thing I'd like to really contribute, and I'm really excited to hear from everyone on the panel about this, it's how do we as women who have like really put on a stride for perfectionism, really start to trust our bodies and understand what it feels like to feel. Because really, there's so many cliches that come in this conversation. You know, trust your body, listen to your body. What does your body say? These prompts and these questions. But for people who are super left brain, Deborah, and who are really, really anchored in thinking, doing, working.
Cut off here.
Yeah. Okay. Those sorts of prompts can actually lead to shaming, because there's such a lack of knowledge around how to get that in, like how to be inside of our bodies. So I feel like we're going to be really, really powerful to a space of women who are like, I'm so corporate, I'm so thought-driven, I'm so list-centered, I'm such a thinker, I'm so in my head, I feel dis-ease, I'm not feeling good, I know I need to get into my body. Come to the live stream, because all these experts will help you to understand the mechanics of what that looks like literally step-by-step how to do that, because it's not necessarily as matter of fact or as simple as the way that people make it seem. But it's absolutely, you're capable of doing it. It can be done.
Oh, thank you, Janine. Thank you. Yeah, two things just jumped out at me so much about what you just said. I love that so much. First of all, just this idea that there's shame around, go ahead and do this thing. Why can't you just do this simple, easy thing? What's wrong with you? There's like no worse trigger for a perfectionist than to be told to do something that's supposedly simple, easy, or natural and feeling nothing of the sort, right? So that is super helpful. Thank you. And yes, anyone who is like, yeah, what are you talking about? I can't, you know, and JJ, I see you. And, you know, and the other piece is just that whole idea of being cut off. I'm going to tell a 30-second story and then hand off to JJ, which is, it's like the story that we tell ourselves about what our body is telling us. Whether or not we're intellectually cut off from our body's going to talk to us no matter freaking what, right? And it's just a matter of how we interpret those messages. And I had this day, very briefly, when I just felt so super stressed out and anxious. I couldn't figure out why. I was like, what have I done wrong with my life? Everything's terrible, nothing good enough, never enough. And I finally realized, once I actually broke it down to the sensations in my body, there was stuff going on where my stomach was churning. I was a little bit short of breath. I was a little bit sweaty. I went, oh, I had a double coffee this morning. Like, I completely forgot that I had just had a freaking cup of coffee when I had been decaffeinated for like 2 months. My body was on caffeine. That was it. There was nothing actually wrong. But I made up this gigantic story and made everything wrong with my life. You know, it was like insane, right? Mm-hmm. So I love what you're talking about. Just this idea that we can access that deeper truth and not be making ourselves crazy about what's going on and just hear the messengers and give permission. Okay, JJ, please talk to us.
No, I was loving what Dr. Janine was saying about delivering the message that it is possible and how to get in the body, and for corporate sort of left brain women, and how this group is really, I agree with Morgana, we may say it in a different way, but we probably all are coming at it the exact same, you know, understanding of something. But that's the beauty of, you're going to hear it differently from different mouths and how it's delivered, right? And one of the things, and I don't know if we're going to get to on the live stream, but one of the things for me, when, you know, helping people with being able to interpret things for them and how they can hear it. Like, I wanted to say, Deborah, when you were talking, like, of course the Capricorn would say that, because I know your astrology, because you're a Capricorn with a Sagittarius moon. You can't sit still. And the perfection. So, but that gives somebody some validation to say, I'm not weird. Like, why am I not like that person who can be all airy fairy woo woo? Why isn't that me? Well, it's not you, because I can astrologically tell you why that's not going to be you. But if you understand that this is how I'm programmed, oh, so I need these things to balance out these things. I'm never going to naturally be you. This is what I need. It's more personalized. It's how right brain versus left brain somebody is. There are the right brainers who are never going to be structured. So their, you know, advice to them is how to get people to help you get structure, because you're so ADD all over the map. Right? And that's okay, because that's how you're built, because your gifts are different. All of our gifts are different. And so I think that this conversation about perfectionism is to understand and validate that not everyone's the same, and how you look at the world is different, and how you interpret things is different, how you're going to hear things are different, and how they're going to impact you is going to be different. What we're all probably going to agree upon is what's needed in terms of, right, getting in our bodies, getting out of our heads, getting into our hearts, getting into our souls, learning how to read ourselves. But then, of course, the path to get there and how it makes sense to you is going to be delivered very differently from everybody here. And I think that's going to be really fun, because you're going to be like, oh, wow, I heard this from you, but I heard that from you. And it was and it's exactly the two things I needed, but those two things weren't going to come out of the same person.
Right, right. That's beautiful. I love you, both you and Morgana really spoke to the collaboration here, and honestly, thank you all for just the generosity of opening and bringing and highlighting, you know, my take on you and your take on me, and the conversation we have with each other, and what I'm bringing to that viewpoint and what you're bringing to that viewpoint. This whole is so much greater than the sum of its parts, even though its parts are badass. So I want to thank you for all of this. I'm going to wrap up now and just say you will be seeing on social media and in your emails more information about this, but just FYI, Saturday, October 6th at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern, later for people across the pond. Tune in for Freedom for Perfectionists, How to Break Through the Barriers Holding You Back. We will be on for 3 hours live. We will be doing a bunch of special segments, special treats. As Lisa said, she'll be running a ritual practice that will bring all of us in, and I have worked with Lisa intimately, and she is unbelievable at how she can include and bring a center of gravity to everyone and a sense of lightness at the same time. It's so powerful. So thank you all. Thank you, Morgana. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Dr. Janine. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in here. Keep an eye out on all of your pages and emails and accounts. I cannot wait to do this thing with you guys in October and be chatting between now and then. Lots of love, everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye. Okay, I think we're done.
This is going to be so fun. It's like 5 of the same people.